to rock these motherfuckers out. Get up. It's a beautiful day to be alive. You're in fucking America, cocksucker. You're not laying there with flies on you and white people taking pictures of you and shit.
Let's hope not.
What's up?
Now that I fucking, I'm all energized. I fucking slept all night.
What's up, Negro? I fucking told you this life as a comic is tough. Nobody believes me and shit. And we didn't even do much. I didn't have you out snorting blow or taking machine guns up the ass. Nothing. I had you out just fucking.
I did that on my own.
Okay, that's what I figured. You went back to the room. You were fucking hallucinating. It's great to be back. Happy Monday to everybody at Churchill. What's happening now? Talking about Austin, Texas. Thank you very much for the love and the support you guys showed last week. And as fucking far as comedy clubs are concerned, when I got back, I called Ari and I told Ari what I thought. That club is definitely in the top 5 solid clubs in the country. The staff, I want to thank them all. From Chandri to Kevin to the wait staff. I mean, when you go to Texas, you feel like family anyway.
Yeah.
This was just a great weekend, and I'm happy that Lee got to see it firsthand. We brought a camera down. We were going to tape a Mad Flavors World for you, but I don't know what the fuck happened.
I got a little bit, but fucking, you got me so high, and then I was manning the table.
Man the table, cocksucker.
So I was
He's walking away, taking pictures, leaving the T-shirts out, cocksucker. Man the table.
So I was in no shape.
You were great, Lee. You were fucking great.
It was a lot of fun.
It was great to watch you interact with the. You know, man, we're not just a podcast no more. We're our own crime family. We're our own fucking crime family. That's it. You wanted to be in the crime family? You got it, motherfucker. But we don't kill nobody. We're not shaking nobody down. We're just slinging dick and telling motherfuckers what time it is. That's it. And making progress every fucking day. So you want to be part of something? You're part of a fucking crime family now. We smoke dope. I smoked dope finally. I didn't smoke yesterday, though. That's it. No, I just wanted to smoke in Austin. It was my 90-day anniversary, and I wanted to get out of the way. And you know what? I'm quitting again. No big deal for right now.
Yeah.
I'm pretty happy with the vapors.
I mean, I can see you once, like, the Saturday night shows. If they have it, you might do it.
I have a good time. You know, I have the best weed out right now at my house. I looked at it when I got back last night.
You have 90-day-old weed?
I have weed somebody gave me about 3 weeks ago.
Okay.
And it's just to look at it.
Just even looking at it, you're
just
like,
to look at it, you're like, fuck. And he told me when he gave it to me, he goes, this is it. He goes, I don't have a lot of it. Take what I have. So I'm just holding it out. I'm going to wait for my resistance to keep getting lower and lower, or whatever the fuck it is, higher and higher. I ate a pot cookie last night. I had to. And I told you that. How good was that flight?
Oh, I didn't. I don't know the way home.
Doctor, dog. You had a middle seat open. Nobody bothers you. You're back in L.A. by fucking 8:30. It wasn't even traffic. By 8:30 on a Sunday, people aren't even thinking of driving, and you're back already.
Yeah.
And that's it. We were home by 9:30. I had a bowl of pasta fazool. I was with the baby and my wife before they went to church. When they came back, we took a nap, got up, went to the park, went to a couple spots, and that's it. Answered some emails last night. We had so many fucking emails last week, I had to break it into 2 parts.
Really?
And the first time in 2 years.
Wow.
Fucking craziness, you know. A lot of great questions, and a lot of people just reaching out saying, but Austin, you know, when I was leaving there, I was thinking how great of a little city it is. Just a little city that has everything.
Yeah.
And we didn't do much. You know, you went and got some barbecue.
Yeah, I like, just because I thought you were gonna, like, I have a little voice in my head now, Joey Diaz voice. So like, we didn't do much. Like, I didn't want to, like, not that you didn't tell me not to bother you, but you have the show, and I don't want to like call you, be like, hey, you want to go sightseeing? So it was like Saturday. Yeah, it was Saturday lunchtime, and I was like, what can we have delivered here? And all that was available was Chinese food. I was like, if I tell Joey I got Chinese food in Texas.
What the fuck? Yeah, we got Chinese
so
food in Texas.
I went and looked, and the closest place to me was this place called Rudy's. I got a cab, and it was fucking delicious. It was fucking amazing.
You know, listen, and I know that there's Franklin's and there's the other place. I got a big problem, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to tell you what it is right now. I don't believe in lines. And this isn't just recently. This is something that I had even as a young kid, I was always very impatient in lines. Fuck it. If I got to wait this long, I don't mind a 15-minute line. You know, there's lines you have to go through at security, at the airport. I make the best of them. But I don't want to make it a habit to get online.
Right.
When I was a kid, when I was about 18 or 19, I was taken to Studio 54 on a Thursday night. And I was placed online. It was a little bit annoying. But my friend got us in, and we were in there like 40 minutes. And studio's something else. You're in there doing blow, and you get your dick sucked. I didn't get my dick sucked, but I'm just saying you can have sex in there and see celebrities. So I could see somebody in the 80s, but I'm not standing online for eggs, and I'm a fat fuck. You know, I'm not standing online for 3 hours for fucking barbecue. I'm just not. I don't care how good the thing is. It's this new, and they do it in Los Feliz. They do it in anywhere where there's
Venice,
hipsters. They have lines, and you know what, man, that works for hipsters. I don't know what you're trying to push out there. I have nothing against you, but I don't believe in standing on lines. We're fucking Americans, man. My mother didn't come from Cuba for me to stand on line for fucking 3 hours for anything.
Right.
For fucking anything. I just don't believe in it. You know, you got to put up customer service. You got to get a table out there and fucking cut some fucking brisket out there. I'm just not doing it. I love your product. I love what you stand for, but I'm not waiting fucking 3 hours. I got better shit to do in my life, man.
I don't know if this is what Franklin's is doing, but I think some of it is they're creating a demand. Like, a lot of these places run out of food. How many of you have ever heard of a restaurant running out of food? Like, I think they're just doing it so people know they're going to run out. People know there's a line, so then you're going to go, and it's like the mystique
I'm not
of
waiting online.
You know what?
I'm not paying somebody to wait online. I'm not doing that to somebody else. I'm not that type of person. I'm not going to wait online. I'm going to pay you $10 an hour to wait online. I'll pay you $50 to stand online for 3 hours, but I'm just not going to do it. I'm not supporting that shit.
Rudy's was in a gas station, and it was fucking delicious.
Yeah, no. In our society now, it's this thing that, you know, iPhones, it's hip to stand online the night before. You know what? Fuck you. Fuck you. You want to smoke a half a number and stand online for an hour and giggle with your friend for 40 minutes? That's cool. But I'm not going to be there all fucking. I'm not part of that society, and I never was. Man.
I think that's the worst one. And don't be mad at me if you're one of the ones that did it. But with Amazon now and ordering online, it comes the same day.
Yeah, no. It's a part of this thing, this movement that we stood online. Listen, then move to fucking Russia. Stand online for everything. Toilet paper, light bulbs. Do your fucking thing. I'll have you stand online all fucking day. I'm just not fucking doing it. I don't care. It's just something. My mom didn't come from Cuba. I just don't like it, man. And that's it. That's why I fucking stand. And I know the barbecue's good at Franklin. I had it last time I went. It's fucking delicious. The brisket melts in your mouth. But not 3 hours worth. No. Even the fucking Jesus was boring. What's up, Lee?
No, everyone was so cool. Can you show that model again? That was a fucking... Everyone was so nice in Texas. That's the day the devil was buried at sea.
This is from Andrew, and I don't know how to pronounce her last name, Yasmini. She's fucking sweet. They were very nice people. We met a lot of nice people, man. And this is everywhere now. This is everywhere, you know. We're doing a podcast. We don't come on here and we go off. But we try to make you leave here feeling good. It's like a fucking Disney movie, you know. The church, what's happening now is like a Disney. It's like going to see the Love Bug.
So are you the princess or am I the
whatever? You know, who gives a fuck?
Damsel in distress.
I never said I was no princess, no hero. I'm not saying about that shit. What I'm saying is that, you know, we have a family. So you're part of something. I'm part of something. Lee's part of something. Like I said in the beginning, I'm with you. You're with me, and they're with us. Fuck them all. And if they're not with us, fuck them all. Who gives a fuck? Who needs them? You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Who the fuck needs them, Lee?
No
what
one.
do you got today? What were you asking me about my schedule?
No, we were talking, and I have Rick Ramos tonight.
Okay.
But other than that, I'm fucking nothing planned.
MRI at 4. I got my last voiceover class at 7. I'm gonna work out. I gotta write a little bit today. I gotta meet with my girl tomorrow, Wednesday, for the book, and that's it. The things are everything's fucking rolling smoothly. You know what I'm saying?
I love it. Oh, I'm still getting over all those edibles. That was a crazy fucking 3 or 4 days.
Dave Wilder, you know, my man brought us fucking Cuban pastries from Dallas. I want to give him a shout out. Ookie Spooky came down with her son, looking beautiful. It was just a nice little get together. Now we're gonna hook up with Lady J. I mean, it's amazing what this is becoming, and I never dreamt this. I thought it was just gonna be you and I cracking stupid fucking jokes and people, but no, it's becoming something beautiful. And I'll tell you what was the most impressive thing of the weekend was Doug Benson's show. When I walked in there and I seen people with signs like, let's make a fucking deal, I just could not believe it. I was blown the fuck away. I couldn't even believe, you know, there's only 2 movies with the letters O in them, basically, that I know of.
Oh, yeah.
Other People's Money and On the Waterfront. At first, I was so high with the edible that Apocalypse Now came to me. Oh, Apocalypse Now. I go, no, Apocalypse. It's a fucking A. But no, it was, that was amazing. Doug does a great job with that goddamn show. And Trey was funny, and Joe was funny, the kids I worked with this weekend. It was just a total, complete fucking great weekend to get out. And that was it. 8 weeks in a row I did, people.
Jesus.
8 weeks of stand-up, 7 planes. in 8 weeks, 7 fucking return flights in 7 weeks. Okay, that's a lot of fucking planes. But I did it, and it wasn't even for the money, man. It was just to see you people. At this point, I want to see the people I talk to. Stand-up has become something different for me now. I want to talk to the people, and I got these dates in New York at Gotham. I don't know what the official date is, but it's either these 2 weeks in September, and so I'm going to get a theater in Brooklyn, and Lee and I are going to go to New York. We're taking this fucking podcast in New York. We're going to have some of my buddies on there, maybe some crooked fucking gangsters and shit. We're going to do a fucking live podcast somewhere in New York, and we'll keep you posted on that. It's funny this weekend because Lee asked me how I thought I did on stage. We talk comedy on here and stand up and little things. It's like when I go to jiu-jitsu. If I go to jiu-jitsu and I last 10 more seconds than I did the session before, I'm very happy. If I go to jiu-jitsu and I do a hip escape and I fucking sweep you and then I tap out because I can't breathe, I'm very happy because I made forward progress. It was funny that I thought I was having mediocre sets, and then Saturday I did something. For me, sometimes to write a joke, I have to write a story. And then when I'm writing the story, I think of something that it all turns together. And then the story I was writing is irrelevant. I found the joke somewhere. And one day I was writing a story, and I think we talked about this in the Testicle one time, about Sticky Charlie.
We talked about it at a lot of places, I think.
Where? When did we talk about it?
I think you talked about it in a Testicle Testament. I think you've talked about it on the podcast, too.
Sticky Charlie was the greasiest looking dude you ever saw in your life. He had some part, it was something, and I hate to say this, it was some, it was 1970, so he had some type of disorder, and he was a little older than us. I mean, he was a lot older than us. We were 6 or 7. He had to be in his 30s. He got a check from the government, maybe. Okay. And he lived with his parents. And I think he was Jewish. I think he had that something about him. He could have been, you know what I'm saying? He was just a white dude, but I think he could have. I'm not making fun of you, Lee. I'm just saying. I think he was Jewish. He had that. That's fine. His mom would come looking for him. Oh, gosh. Okay, he was 30.
That's the worst when you're sniffing glue. When your mom comes looking for you.
I never knew about drugs. I knew that my mom had smoked pot. I knew that little things, but I was just a kid. I wasn't aware of it. And I was a geek, man. When I came from Cuba, I didn't know how to speak, so I wouldn't speak constantly. I was very insecure about my language and my American, so I got into building models. I don't know why, people. Don't fucking hate me for it. I got into building ships and little fucking buildings, but then the Marvel series came out, and they had the Hulk breaking through a wall, and they had like Spider-Man on a wall with a web, and there were like these elaborate models, and me and this geeky kid would get together on 148th Street of all places on top of this hobby store. It was like they had, paintings and greeting cards, whatever. And we would do these models in the summer. And then once we finished, we'd go out. We let them dry. So we put them together, and then I'd paint them, and he'd paint them. He had a better hand than me. He did the eyeballs and the star on Captain America and all that shit. I mean, we were a team. Don't ask me what his name was. I don't remember what his name was, but that was our life. And we would meet like the model store opened at 9. We were there at 9. I bought the model, but he helped me. Okay. And then we split it some way or another. I gave it to him or whatever. I bring it back home, and one morning I got up. I don't know what happened with the circumstances. We got all. When you're a kid, you don't know nothing about anything being out of stock. You know what I'm saying? When you're a kid and you go buy sneakers, they better be in fucking stock. You don't know nothing about somebody saying to you, "Oh, we have them out of stock. We have to come back." You're like, out of stock? What does that mean? So me and this geeky kid went into this fucking glue store, into this hobby store, and went to get our glue, and the guy's like, "No, I'm out of it. I'm clean out of it." And for some reason at that time, a couple people knew Charlie snorted glue, but I don't think these 2 fucking store owners knew that he snorted glue. And it was weird how we caught him in my godmother's alleyway. And what he would do is he'd put the glue in a bag, and then you blow in it like you have an anxiety attack or something.
All right, you did a lot of drugs.
I didn't do glue.
I know you didn't do glue. You've done a lot of drugs in your day. How does someone get to the point where they're doing glue?
I don't fucking know, Lee. I don't know. I think for him it was a starting point, and he got stuck there.
Because of the glue, he got stuck?
Yeah, I think he just got stuck in that phase. Sometimes You smoke pot, and then you do mescaline for a while, then you do coke, then you do heroin. He just settled on glue. And I think, and that's what makes me think, after more thinking, that he was Jewish, because he got a government check at the beginning of the month, and he had to chop up his days into a budget. So what fits into like $2 budget? Glue. It's 35 cents a fucking tube. So after I saw him snorting the glue, I didn't know. Like, it took me like a week to ask around, and people were like, yeah. So I'm like, I had to wait 4 fucking days for that glue. We had to walk like a half a mile to get the other glue that you had to take out and with a brush and brush it. And you can't build a model with that.
Rubber cement, yeah. I remember
Rubber
that.
cement. You can't build a model with that. So we were livid. So I started thinking, this is why I don't want people to think that I had a bad life. Like, people like, oh, well, his mom died. No, man, I was doomed for failure from the age of 6, and it was because of Sticky Charlie put a curse on me. He put a fucking glue curse on me. Those are worse than fucking any black person or the African could put on you. So fucking Sticky, I figured out that now at this point we're calling him Sticky Charlie, right? Me, these Puerto Rican kids, Nelson and Ricky, I forget what his Cedeno. We're calling him Sticky Charlie. Sticky Charlie, Sticky Charlie. So I get pissed off. This is the only time I ratted somebody out. So I went into the store another time. They're like, yeah, we have, like, I went back and they were down to 3 tubes. So from being out of stock, now they're down to 3 tubes. So I just bought all 3 fucking tubes. And I said, that's it. I know. I go, when are you getting the next shipment in? He goes, what are you talking about? I go, when are you getting the next shipment in? He goes, I don't know. It takes like 2 days to order. I go, fuck it. Let me. And I'm 6 or 7. I go, let me know how much a box of glue is. I'm going to call my mom right now and I'll have her send you the money. The guy's looking at me like, what are you talking about? I didn't fuck around at that age. What?
I just have this image of the guy back there, the guy with you in the suit. That's just you running around.
Yeah, that's me. No, I was younger than that.
Oh, that's so funny.
That's when I was 10. This is 3 years earlier. And my mother, I remember taking a fucking cab down to 88th Street and she gave me like the $15. Like, she didn't understand. I'm like, I'm going to be a business owner. And she's like, what are you talking about? Like, at that age, she didn't even question me.
So you weren't hoarding it for yourself?
No, I fucking went and bought all the glue so I could sell it to Sticky Charlie. Something in my mind just said, this is the only way I'm going to control the glue fucking trade. I'm never going to be without glue again. That's what our life was. How can I live without fucking glue? I didn't want to reuse rubber fucking cement, Lee. So I went and ratted the guy out and I go, this guy snorts fucking glue? How can you keep fucking selling glue? And I bought the case of glue. So I waited for Sticky Charlie. The store opened at like 9. Okay. I got there like at 8:30 one morning. There's Sticky Charlie scratching. And he's like, I don't know what happened. They threw me out of there. I'm not allowed in there no more. And for some reason, fucking I'm not allowed at the hardware store like 3 blocks away. There was like another hardware store on 151st in Amsterdam or something. He wasn't allowed in there either. Yeah. The people from that store called those people. So they started calling each other and telling them that guy was snorting glue and they don't want him in the stores. So he knew it. He's like, so do me a favor, go in there and buy me the fucking glue. I went in there. I said, no, I'm not going to buy you the glue. I got the glue now. I'm the new fucking king of the glue on this corner, cocksucker. You want glue, it's going to cost you 55 cents. He was pissed. He's like, so you're putting a 20 cents tariff on it. I'm like, cuz. And I didn't even know about the law and supply. I knew nothing. I just knew I was a glue salesman. I didn't know about marketing skills. There was no MySpace. There was no nothing. I just knew this motherfucker was not taking my glue no more. And this went on for a summer, where he would come to me and go, come on, give me the glue for 45 cents. You're not getting it for 45. It's 55 fucking cents. And he would tell me, fuck you, I'm going to rob you. Because I hung out with like 3 other fucking little devils that were 6 and 7. And fucking, we'd bite you. We'd hit you with fucking garbage cans. We didn't give a fuck.
Where did you keep the glue? Did you have like a little briefcase with you?
My godmother's house. In my godmother's house. So he'd give me the money. I'd go to a fucking spot and then come back. I wouldn't put it in my pocket. I put it in and my godmother was like, what's all this glue? So he started teasing me. He's like, I'll give you 35 cents. I ain't paying you a dime over. So I would get Elmer's glue to fuck with him. And you can't snort Elmer's glue. There's nothing in Elmer's glue. But the best is the day he told me to go fuck myself at 9 in the morning. And at 1, I saw him across the street with a can of paint. Mixing it up. And he would snort like the little...
He snorted paint?
He snorted paint. The little, little ones. You have the big cans of paint.
Okay.
You get the little cans of paint.
Oh, like the
Yeah, put that in a bag, mix it up a little bit, and he would wait for a hot day or so. I don't fucking know, Lee. I don't know.
Oh, that's the worst. That's one of the worst.
And he used to get pimples on his neck from snorting glue, like whiteheads. But they weren't filled with glue. They were filled with, like, just pus or liquid. I don't fucking know. I tortured that motherfucker for 2 or 3 years. Finally, I don't know where he went. He went to a glue rehab or some shit. Poor
Speaking of torturing, that lady at the end of Saturday night was possibly my favorite lady ever.
Oh, that fucking old lady was tremendous.
An old lady, and she was waiting for you, and then you left. I thought you were going into the club to like try to hide from her. So I was standing out there high as fuck, just like staring at her. And then you came out, and it took like 15 minutes to get rid of her.
Listen, dog. Some people, never mind women, men too, are relentless. She was relentless. She came up to me saying that she was an author. And she wanted to ask me questions. Now, this lady had to be 56 to 60. She's telling me she had to ask me questions about a book or whatever. So I go, what's the book about? And she started telling me about, what is that shit?
S&M.
S&M, that she had a handcuff on her wrist. That's not my world. You know, I'll piss on your neck. I'll do shit like that. But I never tied somebody up and dragged them across the room and punched them like that. That's just me goofing around. That's not in my repertoire of sex moves.
And all she kept saying, because I ended up leaving with Joe just because I couldn't keep it together and I didn't want to ruin it. But all she kept saying was, let's have a drink, let's have a coffee. And you were like, I can't, I gotta go right now.
What am I gonna do? Have a drink with some? I don't even know what the fuck to drink. I don't even know. Coffee. It's 1 a.m. Go home, old lady. Jesus Christ. Torture me to
She
pieces.
followed you to the car.
Oh my
she
God.
wouldn't stop.
I even asked her. No, and then I knew I was in trouble when she told me she was bald from her eyebrows down. I didn't know what that meant. I didn't know what the fuck she meant. I was like, Jesus. So she's bald from her fucking eyebrows down. I didn't know what the fuck she was talking about. It's amazing, the people you meet, man. You meet interesting people at all levels. And at the end of the game, that's what this is all about. Remember, for years, that was the big wordage whenever you talk to people. What do you want to do with your life? Oh, I want to travel and meet interesting people. The fuck are you talking about? Now it's what I do.
Yeah.
I travel and I meet interesting people. It's that fucking simple. You ever have a pimple on top of your eyebrow?
Probably,
There's no whitehead or nothing, but the motherfucker hurts like a fucking... Jesus Christ, this thing hurts. I just went to give it a squeeze. I thought somebody stuck a fucking needle in my eyeball. You ever have one of those?
Yeah.
Jesus Christ almighty. I watched something very interesting the other night that really tapped home with me. And it had to do with Artie Lange. I watched Artie Lange on Tom Green. I think it was Thursday night. I had radio Friday morning. And
yeah.
Tom Green was on. First off, Tom Green is becoming a great little fucking interviewer. I mean, his shows... I watched a couple of them, and America's ready for that type of shit. Something loose, free, where people curse and whatnot. And, you know, he talked to Artie about what had happened. For you, a lot of people don't know, Artie was a co-host on the Howard Stern show. I never really listened. I think in the 8 years he was on there, I listened to him maybe 3 times. And every time I listened to him, it scared me because he sounded like me, and I was doing all those drugs and stuff. And I had never known Artie. I had met him in Vegas briefly. We did a show with Rogan, me, Ari, Duncan, and then they were doing the show later on that midnight. And their show was 4 times the size of ours. Like, we thought we were badasses because we had 600 people.
Yeah.
He must have had 8,000 people in there. And he was hammered. And he went on stage, and it was like, it was sad. I remember even as a junkie myself saying that's sad. I would never want people to know me for that. You know, we smoke a joint, we have a few Jaegers, but to be on stage inebriated and be fucked up. And you know, one thing about Artie Lange, man, when he gives an interview, he's very honest. So I feel what you guys feel sometimes when I talk about drugs or situations or... And he was talking about what had happened to him at the end when he tried to commit suicide and how Howard called him, that they put him in the insane asylum. And, you know, because when you try to kill yourself, they hold you down. They tie your hands and shit, you know, and the paparazzis. And he was talking about how he's a C-level celebrity and the paparazzi was still there. And it's just amazing where the drugs had taken him. And it's funny when I talk about drugs in front of Lee sometimes. I see it in Lee's face that he doesn't know. Like, Lee, it's just I'm very happy that you're who you are. You know, I don't understand. I understand how it did work. The message from people did work. Because I talk to a lot of young people. Yeah, I talk to a lot of young people that take acts and go to raves and shit like that. But I talk to a lot of young people that don't even know what that is, and you're one of them. And it's amazing that sometimes when I talk about drugs, you sit there and go, wow, I'm so fucking happy I didn't get involved. You cannot... When I was watching that interview and I was watching Artie talk about the drugs and just the aftermath of the suicide thing. I could never imagine that. And I got to tell you, man, the last year and a half, I was that frustrated.
Jesus.
I don't know how I didn't stick a knife in myself.
No, I can't even imagine, because I've had some low times just naturally. And I can't even imagine having the drug addiction.
It's true. We have shitty times just being a human being. Never mind pouring that shit into your nose or your veins. But there was times when I would have to go in the bathroom and pee. And I would look at myself in the mirror, and for the love of Christ, Lee, I can't tell you what I felt inside. I felt like the mirror was going right through me. You want to just put your head through the mirror so you can't really see yourself.
So what's the feeling like, like when you have like that? Like let's say he's so pissed off, he's that depressed, but he's still using. Is it like, do you hate yourself while you're doing it? Is it
absolutely?
Does it still feel good?
Cycle. No. You just you're putting it more in you to kill the pain, to kill what you just saw.
Yeah.
Hopefully that image will go out of your mind. I mean, and the image is horrible when you walk past the bathroom and you see yourself. Or the next day when somebody takes a picture and you see yourself, it's a fucking horrible. I've always, if you really scour, you'll never find pictures of me coked up. I always hated that shit. People wanted to take pictures and they were coked up. For me, it was something that I was involved in, that it was a dirty little secret, and it just kept going.
Yeah.
At least sometimes it keeps going. It's a runaway fucking train. If I get 90 emails a week, 30 of them are about pills or coke or heroin. It's a runaway fucking train. And once a person gets off it and looks inside themselves, it's fucking scary. It's a deep, scary move. So now you have two choices after you look inside yourself. You could either keep going or go for help. And I gotta tell you something. Keeping going is the easiest choice.
Fuck yeah, it is.
Sometimes I remember trying to go for help. I remember trying to go to a free clinic in Hollywood just to see what it was about, and it was a fucking nightmare. So by the time you took the paperwork to go get it, you were getting high again. It just didn't matter.
Yeah.
I remember Terry finding the paperwork one day and going, "What the fuck is this?" And I go, "I stopped by there for a friend." And her giggling her ass off, going, "Jesus Christ, I can't believe you can't." But that was the very beginning.
Yeah, it's crazy because when you're talking about how kids don't get into it. Did you have Dare when you were a kid? It's just a drug program. They come in.
No.
They come into your schools and they show you the stupid videos, and it never really works. And I don't know if it would be scared straight, but I mean,
it does work.
I think it would be but I'm saying I think it would be better if like someone like you or Artie Lange would go in and be like, "Listen, guys, like it feels great at the beginning, but it never ends up positive." Like that's all. When you were saying that it stops feeling good.
If I went into a classroom of 60 people and talked to 60 kids, I would reach one of them.
Yeah.
One of the 60 kids, because 30 of those kids wouldn't get high anyway. Okay, 50. I'm going with 50%, and I'm not intelligent in that source. I'm just saying what I feel.
That's fine. Yeah.
I think 50% would be 15 kids out of 30 kids out of 60. And I could probably scare one kid. Not scare one kid, but confirm what he was thinking. He had an idea. He was thinking of getting high. Listen, kids are going to smoke pot.
Yeah.
It's just something. If they don't, it's kind of weird because they're trying things. You try things when you're younger. Or maybe you're not. You're that headstrong and that solid. Your parents did such a good job. I don't even know if it's that.
I think parents can do a great job, but it's just, I mean, you must see it at a very much more intense level with Mercy because everything's new. But when you think about it, the first time you try drinking, it's not because you want to be an alcoholic, but it's new and you're not supposed to do it.
But you can't compete. Like I can't compete. When I go in to talk to 60 kids about doing drugs, I can't compete with society. I can't compete with Instagram.
Right.
I can't compete with somebody being at a club and taking a picture of themselves smoking a blunt. I can't compete of the coolness of that. And deep down inside, we all want to be accepted. We all want to be cool. We all want to be... So I can't compete with that. If I know what I know now, I could tell you that you don't need to fucking do drugs to be cool. I think you'd be fucking cooler without fucking doing drugs. That's if you live your life in that matter. I know a lot of people don't do drugs that live their life and they have a great fucking time. I was weak at that age and I let them come in. And then they stayed in. Okay. I let them come in and they stayed in. And little by little, I got rid of the damage. Was it too late? Was it too early? Who the fuck knows? I know I'm not doing drugs today.
Yeah.
I know I'm not. They're not on my mind constantly. And
now, what do you think? I'm just interested to get your perspective on it. when I was under 21, I drank a lot, and then when it was legal for me, I basically stopped drinking at 21.
I believe that.
What do you feel about like that countries are legalizing more and more drugs? Do you think it's a good thing, or
I don't like it.
you don't really?
I don't want it in their faces, man. I don't want it in everybody's faces. I know how it affects me. You want me to tell you the real I left New York for various reasons, but one reason definitely was the accessibility of it. The accessibility of cocaine in the 80s. It wasn't the big thing. I could walk to the fucking corner.
Okay.
I could walk to the corner. There'd be 3 guys sitting out there talking. And inside a bumper in a car nearby, they had coke stashed. All I had to do was give them the cash and they'd send their boy to go get it. Right on the fucking corner. You know, heroin was acceptable. When I was a kid, I could go to Washington Square Park and get 8 Valiums for $10. When I was 18 years old. 8 Valiums for $10. $10 fucking dollars, guys. $10, you know? And I just didn't like that accessibility. And I know I'm going to get, well, listen, people are going to do drugs anyway.
Yeah.
People are going to drink. People are going to fucking fuck and suck. People are going to get hookers. People are going to shoot heroin. People are going to gamble, you know? I saw a report months ago, maybe a year, on the backlash of gambling in Pennsylvania. All these women, all these housewives that go to these games, and these games are lights and bolts, and they get caught up, and they next thing you know they're remortgaging their house. These women, their husbands don't know. You know, when I went down to Santa Fe, somebody had won an account, and the guy was telling me, one of the managers there, he goes, it was fucked up because they wanted the 60 grand in cash, you know, not in a check. That means that they don't want their husband to know they won the 60 grand.
Oh, Jesus.
You know, it's things as simple as gambling. Now, are they weak for getting involved with gambling? Yeah. Did I gamble? Yeah. Did I learn my lesson? You know how you learn your lesson when you gamble? When you pay 3 weeks, when you lose.
Yeah.
That's how you learn your lesson. If you keep losing, then it's a mental thing. It becomes a mental thing where you enjoy losing. You enjoy saying, Jesus fucking Christ, I had the Jets -3, and they, you know, some people, that's a form of conversation for them to be expressive. I don't know, man. I don't like it. And I'm telling you this is a fucking junkie.
That's why
I'm thinking about this as a fucking junkie, that I don't want it that accessible.
Okay.
I do not want it that accessible. I know when I was out there, you're going to get it anyway. But so I still don't want it over the fucking counter.
So any good that would come from not having to go to drug dealers, it's negated by the fact that now there's heroin on the streets.
There's always going to be drugs on the street.
Right.
There's going to be fucking meth everywhere. You know, I was telling you, I watched on Nat Geo the other night. I watched Drugs Inc., and I was watching a guy in San Francisco. It's part of a gay meth ring up there that they're hooked on fucking meth. And this guy dresses up like fucking Rob Halford from Judas Priest, and for $200 an hour, he comes to your house, and he's got HIV.
Jesus.
He's got HIV already, and he shoots meth. And then once a month, the guy sends him $1,000. He gets a hotel room, because he's homeless, by the way. Gets a hotel room, gets a computer with a camera, and tapes himself shooting heroin and jerking off, and the guy pays him $1,000. Fucking hilarious.
Jesus Christ.
Fucking hilarious. So if people doing that, it's fucking still illegal. Can you imagine legal? And people are gonna do them, and people are gonna get drugs at all levels. And I can't fucking judge you. I can't. You know, I've been where you fucking been. You know, but something about it, I just didn't want it that easy, man.
Is that part of the reason why you're not smoking as much? Because, I mean, especially with Mercy getting older, she's going to start seeing things. And with edibles and stuff, no one's going to know what that is. She's not going to know what that is. But if, like, she saw you with, like, a joint, that'd be easier to see. Is that any part of your thinking at all?
Listen, man. Let's push the elephant out of the room. Your parents are your heroes. Or at least this is how I feel. If you've heard this podcast, if you know anything about me, my mother was my hero. And then she died, so you have a fallen fucking hero, okay? I'm not even going there with it, but we have parents. They're our heroes. Until a certain age, your parents are your fucking heroes. You want to be your father. Girls want to be mommy. You know, they want to be princesses. Whatever the fuck they want to be, okay? What if you saw your hero doing something? What if you saw your hero?
Yeah.
How many times have people said, Jesus Christ, they went to meet Jerry Lewis and he told them to go fuck themselves and they left there depressed or whatever? It's the same thing with your parents. I saw my hero get high. I didn't fucking like it when I was a kid. You know how many times I told my mom to wipe her nose because I would see the coke rings and shit?
Jesus.
I fucking hated that. I'm being honest with you guys. I hated it. But at some point, it had to affect me. It told me it was okay to do it.
Yeah.
Somewhere, okay, if your hero does it, it tells you it's okay to do it. We have a responsibility here in this country, around the world. You have a responsibility, especially people who are in the public eye. You know, people in the public eye, you know, these little girls love Kim Kardashian, you know. How many people are making sex tapes because they think that they put a sex tape up, they're going to be famous? Whatever. There's different things. You know, this chick right here with Sterling. What the fuck? What the fuck? I'm still blown away that a pretty girl, there's got to be a retardation in there somewhere that makes you want to suck an old dick to pay your fucking rent.
There's a lot of those people now. I mean, there's that show coming out where the commercial for it is this girl saying, the only skill I want to have is signing a credit card receipt. And it's just people not just for this town. Some of them have a lot of money, and the parents just don't care, and they give them money instead of being
What a
parents.
pathetic life. But you know who also sounded like that when he was fucking 20? Me.
Jesus.
That was the life I wanted. I didn't want to do shit. I thought I had money. I thought I had money coming to me. I thought the world owed me. You know, when I walked into a bar, I could drink for free. I thought that I could front coke. You know, we all want that world. We all want that world where we just walk into a place and there's a Lamborghini waiting for you, but that's not a fucking reality.
Have you heard a lot of that? I mean, obviously I'm not asking you to name names, but in Hollywood, have you heard of like this actor has a 20-year-old girl who lives in the hills and he pays her rent, and yeah, you heard a lot. Oh, Jesus Christ.
I knew about it. I first discovered it when I was fucking guys. This is just to tell you how naive I was about those sexual type things. Because I don't want you to think that I knew everything about I didn't. I learned them the hard way, just like you guys. We're all fucking morons, and as we go along, we learn things. When I was 95. When I was 32, I dated a girl, and I liked them. One day we were talking, and she goes, do you know how I put myself through college? And I was how? And she goes, I had an old man, but I fucked him once a week, and he paid my college, he paid my car bill, he paid all my bills and gave me $500 a week. And she'd have to go over there once a week, and he'd get another hooker, and she would have to suck his dick while the hooker ate her pussy and do blow. It was fucking craziness.
Now, like, when you first hear it, you're like, oh, that's gross. But, like, imagine, let's say you were a girl instead. Is that so bad? I mean, like, if you were a girl and your mom died and you were on your own and there was no way for her to get through college, maybe that's not terrible.
Listen, I can't judge it because what's the difference between me stealing and her hooking? I mean, we're both selling our fucking souls.
Yeah.
You know, so I'm not here to judge. I was never mad at her, but I had never heard that before.
Yeah, that's crazy.
At 32 years old.
We got a call coming up.
All right. What's up, baby?
Dude.
It's my main man, Johnny Goombats.
Vinny Boombats here.
Vinny Boombats. What's happening, Ray Cannella?
Not much. I am just doing my thing on a Monday morning. Getting ready. I'm opening up the office here and just getting ready to attack culture once again.
Never in the history of the podcast have I had so many people ask when are you going to put Ray back on. So I was talking to Lee about television the other day and whatever. And I said, I got to get fucking Ray back on. Lee said the same thing, and here the fuck you are. What's happened, beautiful?
Nothing. I'm having a good old time. I'm finally enjoying. Spring has finally sprung in New Jersey after a really, really shitty winter, and I'm doing my thing. I'm very excited. You know, I'm gearing up to relaunch our subscription horror movie channel, Screenbox.
All right, so tell Lee what happened. Tell Lee what happened, because Lee was asking, how's the YouTube page going?
Well, what Screenbox is Screenbox is a digital horror movie channel, much like Netflix, in that you pay a small monthly fee and you have access to our horror film library. Okay, and you can watch as many movies as you want, as many times as you want. And like Netflix, there's no ads, no commercials. Everything is completely uncut. There's no pop-ups. There's no promos. You have to scroll through nothing. You pay a fee, and you watch the material. You watch the content. And we had launched Screenbox a year ago on YouTube, and now I am knee-deep in work getting ready to relaunch Screenbox on July 15th across multiple platforms. We are set to launch on Xbox, on Roku, and on Samsung devices, in addition to launching an official website. So this is the next step. This is the next move. We're gonna the YouTube channel is going to become a marketing platform, and I believe it's going to become a free channel. So you can come to the YouTube Screenbox channel, and you'll see me, and you'll see trailers, and you'll see movie reviews, and lots of fun stuff going on there. And if you'd like to become a subscriber, well, then you can link on over to our website and become a subscriber. And for $2.99 a month, you gain access to all of our films. And it's just the natural evolution of entertainment, really. Because I know that you and I want to talk a little bit about the cable and broadcast upfronts that occurred a week or two ago. And, you know, before getting into that topic, what I'm excited about is the work I'm doing right now. Being involved with the good people at Screenbox, the team has really grown since we launched a year ago. And we have wonderful, wonderful, creative, talented people involved to really take Screenbox to the next level. And we think this is the future of entertainment. It's a VOD world. You know, it's a video-on-demand world. People are no longer satisfied with shelling out, you know, hundreds of dollars for cable and not watching, you know, and not watching any of it. You're simply not watching what you're paying for with cable. You get how many channels you get at home, Coco?
600.
Yeah, and you watch
Four
between 9
maybe?
and 14 of them. Out of all those channels, you are only watching between 9 and 14. It is not a good value anymore, cable TV. Now, when you and I were young, when you and I were kids, and cable started, what was the benefit to cable back in the day? Do you remember?
Getting dirty movies on HBO. The first HBO I got was because of the Groove Tube. I talked my mom
Long
into
before
getting
even before
Wow.
HBO. Even before HBO, because HBO didn't come along right away.
No, I
The
don't know.
goal, the main benefit of cable back in the day was the reception. It eliminated the need for an antenna on the top of your home by having cable. That was the benefit back in the day. And then they started adding channels and adding channels. When I was with the Sci-Fi Channel back in 1992, when we launched Sci-Fi, the cable landscape was still analog. Okay, and we had trouble getting on cable systems because the digital age hadn't come yet. Everything was still antiquated analog equipment. When the digital age came, that's when everything exploded. And now you get 600 channels, and then each broadcast channel has an on-demand channel, which isn't really on-demand because you still have to sit through commercials. You know, it's very funny. Just last night, my wife and I were going through the on-demand channels because each network, like ABC and CBS and NBC and Fox, they also have what they call a VOD channel. But in my opinion, it's not really VOD when you have to sit through commercials. You know? It's just another CBS channel.
Let me tell you something that I
Yeah.
like what you did. Something that we talk a lot about in the church that you did, and I admire the fuck out of you, that you couldn't do 30 years ago, was a man in his late 40s or early 50s saying, fuck the corporate world or fuck my job. I'm going to go out there and do something different. I'm going to go out there and do something that while I was doing this fucking job and I was loving it, I was learning something. I was seeing the bad side of it or the downs. I'm not saying sci-fi was bad in any way. I watch it from time to time. What I'm saying is that that's what I admire about you at this point, that you're saying that in midlife you're going to go, fuck what I was doing. I'm going to go open up my real fucking passion. and put everything I got into it until they put me in the fucking grave in one of these horror movies that I produced myself.
Well, the truth is, while that's very nice of you to say, the truth is that I was let go from sci-fi.
Okay. Well, even that.
I'm no visionary.
No, even that, Ray. Even a lot of people. How long were you there? How long were you at sci-fi? How long were you there?
20 years.
Okay.
20 years.
Most people would have fucking climbed into a hole, gone to a doctor, taken antidepressants, and blamed it on society and how a guy your age, what is he going to do now? Not you. Not you. You said, you know what? I'm going to turn to my passion. I put away a couple dollars. I got a brother. I got a wife. And I'm going to go to work, and I'm doing what I love. And that's why I admire you. Look, you tried the YouTube page. Last night when I spoke to you, you spoke to me about this YouTube page. You goes, you know what? It didn't work out like we thought, so we're going to attack this. Most people crawl in a fucking rock, Ray.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I don't know a lot about the business side, but it seems like you're making the right choice. Like, YouTube is a good place to start because it has the backbone and has people going to YouTube. But now that you have a little bit of a following, you go to your own website and you don't have to deal with YouTube anymore.
Well, the powers that be, the good people that created Screenbox, and I'm now, and to be clear, I'm not one of the creators of Screenbox. They approached me when I became available on the open market. They approached me to be a programmer and a host, and it's just a privilege to be thought of in such a way. But I had already seen the writing on the wall because I have 2 teenage daughters. And you and I spoke about this in the past. My teenage daughters were obliterating the way that I was using television. So around the time that, the layoffs happened at Sci-Fi, I was let go with about 400 folks. About around the time that the layoffs happened at NBC Universal, I was already, ready to go because of a number of things. 20 years is a long time. 20 years in one particular spot is an awful long time. You need to move around more, and I wished that I had moved around a little bit more. But I also came to the realization that there was a change coming to the industry that no one can stop. That this change in the industry is inevitable. And so, in a way, it was both a blessing and a curse that I left cable, and the good people at Screenbox were generous enough to make me an offer and have me come aboard. And it's been so exciting, a huge learning curve for me. I think, I'm 51. I just turned 51, and so to be training in a new technology, I've been sitting through training sessions and things like that. To be trained in a new technology, this old dog learning a few new tricks has been a lot of fun, and I could be bothered with all of this. So for me, it's a lot of fun. But I personally feel that, I was at a party yesterday, and I was speaking with a 20-year-old young lady, a young lady in her mid-20s, who just passed the bar exam and joined a law firm. Okay? She does not own cable. She has a Netflix account and an Xbox account. Okay? So this is the shift that is happening. The next generation, the millennials and the next geners, okay, they don't want cable. They can't afford it, number one. And it's an on-demand world. They want to watch what they want to watch. They don't want to watch what someone else selects for them at a time that is selected for them. It's an on-demand world. And the next generation gets that. And so what you see from the broadcast channels and from the cable channels, what you're seeing is a lot of scrambling. They're throwing a lot of money at the problem. The problem is their audience is shrinking and their advertising dollars are shrinking. And this is true. This is the truth. It's been a steady decline. It's a slow decline because the networks are doing an excellent job of keeping the quality of the content up. But nonetheless, it's still a decline. And I think over years, we'll see the model shift. And I mean, we are seeing the model shift, but right now television is still your primary source of entertainment. I could easily foresee a future where it's all on the web.
I think for people my age, I don't think TV is number one anymore. I think if sports weren't a factor, it'd be even more people not on TV. Because honestly, that's the really only reason I need cable. Other than that, I could get anything I need online. What do you think about? And I'm actually really pissed off. I hate AT&T. I hate them. They're the worst. Yeah. And they just bought DirecTV.
And you saw the news this morning, right?
Yeah,
about AT&T.
And Comcast just bought friggin' Time Warner. They're only gonna. It's gonna be worse and worse because they're gonna have even less choices, and it's gonna get more expensive. And it's terrible. And then out here for Dodgers fans, if you don't have Time Warner, you can't watch Dodger games. So now they have no reason to keep. I think they're making terrible decisions. I clicked on a gallery online. They have all those picture galleries. Like, look at the shows that got canceled this year. I went through 40 slides, and I must have not known 30 of the shows.
Yes.
All the pilots and stuff that got canceled, you just never hear of them anymore. So, I mean, I'll be...
Well, that's because we're saturated. The cable landscape is now saturated. Who announced the other day that they declined to launch I was just reading in the trades that someone came out to say, Les Moonves was making a comment about, maybe launching a CBS-branded cable network. But at this point, the cable landscape is so saturated. There are so many channels out there that you had no clue that they existed, that it's a waste of time and a waste of space.
Right.
And a waste of money, more importantly. The cable landscape is pretty much done and eaten up. And AT&T just spent $48 billion, by the way, $48 billion to buy DirecTV.
I don't even know how that's legal, by the way.
DirecTV has about 25. They have about 25 million subscribers. I think between 20 and 25 million subscribers. DirecTV. So that's a huge chunk of change. But what that does for AT&T, it puts them in the TV business. It puts them in the cable business. AT&T, and that's where they want to be.
Jesus, it's pretty. I think the only TV stations that really make sense are like those ones like TBS and all those ones that just really do syndicated shows and they don't have to spend any money on producing the actual shows. TBS does produce a few shows. But like whatever whatever that weird guy that number 11 that it shows like King of Queens and Friends and those must be the only ones making money because the people love the shows and they don't have to produce anything.
Yeah, but those shows still cost money to acquire for TNT and TBS, and those shows aren't cheap.
That's true.
And that's why you see such a turnover. By the way, when we have these upfronts. You have the what's been canceled. You have the announcements of what shows are not coming back, and then you have the upfronts. Now you know what the purpose of the upfront is, correct?
No, hit me.
Well, the purpose of the upfront is, and the upfronts have gotten more and more and more consolidated now. What I mean by that is NBC Universal. Let's take them, my old boss as an example. NBC Universal held their upfront on May 12th at the Javits Center, okay? And it wasn't just NBC Universal. It was all of the networks that fall under the NBC Universal umbrella. So that would be USA Network, that would be Sci-Fi Channel, that would be E, it would be Esquire, it would be Chiller, it would be all of Telemundo, Univision. 6, 7, 8 networks. Now, what they do is they gather all of the advertisers together. This is a party for the advertisers, the upfront, because that's a broadcast channel, a broadcasting cable channel's currency, is how they raise revenue through programming. They raise revenue from the advertisers. So they throw a big party for the advertisers, and they pull out all the stops. And NBC Universal this year had Seth Meyers come out. They held it at the Javits Center, and Seth Meyers came out and entertained the crowd with a few jokes, blah, blah, blah. Joel McHale also came out and spoke to the crowd. And basically what they tell the crowd, because the crowd is made up of advertisers, they thank them for their support. Thank you for your continued support. Thank you for your advertising dollars. And here is our slate of upcoming programming for you to check out so that we can continue to do business together. And that's the purpose of the upfront, is to bring in the advertisers, thank them for their support, and then show them what you have coming around the corner so that they can invest more dollars in your network. And that's basically what the upfronts are. And it's usually a great party. In the 20 years that I worked for Sci-Fi, I only went to 2 upfronts. Basically, the reason being was because this was before the consolidating occurred. You know, like Sci-Fi would have its own upfront separate from USA Network, separate from E, separate from Chiller. You know, well, no, Sci-Fi Chiller used to do theirs together. But all the cable networks used to do theirs separately. Now, we live in a climate where, you know, I just rattled off 7 channels owned by one company. You know, you have NBC, USA, Sci-Fi, Chiller, Esquire, E, Univision. You have all, 7, 8, 9 channels under one owner. Okay? So it just makes sense to throw one party.
Now, what do you think about,
Fox did it at the Beacon Theater in Manhattan. Fox held theirs. And they had Ryan Seacrest open and make it and address the crowd. So it's a way for advertisers to see the celebs, to see the stars, you know, to tie one on a little bit, have some good food. It's a big schmooze fest, basically.
What do you think, like, is it possible now, because, I mean, when you think of advertisers, the whole reason they don't have swearing on TV is because it would upset the advertisers. Do you think that, like, I don't know, if, like, let's say Screenbox had an upfront, could you have swearing and still get advertisers that would lock on and you could still make money, as opposed to not having nothing on TV now because, God forbid, an advertiser drops out?
All right, that's a great question. That's a great question because what that allows me to do is to clarify something, okay? There are 2 business models out there. There is the broadcast model, which relies on advertisers for their revenue, and then there's the subscription model. And the subscription model is like HBO, Stars, Encore, Showtime, okay? In the subscription world, there's no advertising. They make their money. They make their money through subscription. Okay, so there's no ads. There's promos for material that appears on their own network, but there's no Burger King, no Brillo and Biscuits, right? So Screenbox falls under that model of subscription, and that's one of the things that has me thrilled about being part of the team at Screenbox. Is that there's no more ratings, there's no more advertisers, there's no more censoring. Because we're subscriber-based, the movies, you watch the movies with all of the language, you watch the movie the way it was made, the way it was meant to be watched.
That's funny
End
because
of story. So the 2 models, so we don't approach advertisers at Screenbox. We probably will for the website, but the main source of revenue is subscription.
That's amazing because last week when I did Doug Lugg's movies, we were talking about when you watch a movie on TV and instead of saying shit, they say crap. But sometimes, right, let's say Ray Liotta is the one that's saying it, they can't get Ray, and they get like Lee to say crap. And at the end of Ray Liotta's, and you sit there and go, Jesus Christ, what am I watching? You know, it's like watching Scarface on TBS or something.
Yeah, it does feel like the Dark Ages. We've definitely evolved, and that is a problem that the broadcasters and the cablers have, is that they still, well, you see, the broadcast networks fall under the regulations of the FCC. Because their material is free over the airwaves. You could go to Radio Shack and spend $50 on a digital antenna, put it up on your roof, and boom, you get all the networks in gorgeous 1080i, high definition. So they're held to a standard regulated by the government. The cable industry is not regulated by the FCC in so much that as far as content goes. The cable industry more or less polices itself. Okay? With the exception of HBO, Stars, and Showtime, those guys are all, my God, you ever watch Spartacus? I hate to go off topic for a second, but you ever watch Spartacus?
No. On Showtime?
Holy shit. Let me tell you something. That show would have a hard time earning an R rating if they went out into the theaters, theatrically. Jesus Christ. Between the bloodletting, the gore, and the masturbation, there's no way, that they would get an R rating in the theaters. But because they're Showtime and because their business model is a transaction between a subscriber and the company, they don't fall under those FCC guidelines. They don't fall under those FCC regulations, I should say. So, so the networks do it because they have to, because the government tells them so. They can be fined by the government.
Now, Ray, I got to ask you a question.
And we've seen these cases happen. Bono, Cher, Howard Stern. We've seen these cases where, if someone drops an F-bomb, the FCC is going to fine you for that.
Let me ask you something, Ray. I'm really interested in I have a friend, a comedian friend. I've known her since she was answering the phones at the fucking Improv in Dallas. That's how long I know Cristela Alonso. Cristela Alonso's show got picked up last week by ABC. This is a Spanish girl that came out here, got a job writing on the Carlos Mencia show, wrote. When that ended, she went on her own, did comedy. I seen her on Sons of Anarchy. She got shot in the head. She did a couple episodes of some shows. She went to Montreal and got a deal. She's a Spanish girl, so they gave her a weird deal. They gave her an ABC, 100,000 flat or something, and pay as you go along. Which everybody else, they'll give you, whatever you want, 250,000, and they gave this girl nothing. But it was, if they write a script, we'll give you 30,000. If the script goes to pilot, we'll give you another 100,000. If the pilot gets picked up, then you get the fucking world. So the show got.
Salud.
Oh my God, I am so happy for her. The name of the show is on Cristela, and Gabriel Iglesias plays her boyfriend.
Really?
Now she knows Gabriel. Gabriel and her have been on the road for years. Yeah, Cristela's a neat girl, and I mean, when I saw the trailer, I was so fucking happy. But here's the thing, Ray. Ready? They gave her like the fucking 10 o'clock slot on Friday nights on ABC. Now everybody knows that's a tough night. That's a tough night. But in this society, it really isn't.
Right.
Because somebody like Lee will tape that motherfucker and go out and watch it all on Sunday when he watches. What else did you talk? Louis, and when he watches
Shark Tank is on Friday night too. That's been on for like 4 or 5 years.
Yeah, that's one of my favorites too. But now, when you DVR a show, is that part of ratings still? Like if 50 million people DVR Cristela and don't watch it as it's getting aired, does it still count as a view? Will ABC cancel her if everybody DVRs the show?
Yes, and yes. It counts. Okay, when you DVR a program, it counts, but it goes into a different bucket. All right, and I'll try to explain. We'll make this 3 different buckets. One bucket is live viewing. Okay, and live viewing means your sporting events, the news, and award shows. Okay, because most award shows are live events. The Oscars. What did we have last night? The Billboard Awards. Okay. So live viewing is where a network or a cable network has its strongest dollars is in live viewing. They want you to watch them live. Now, let's say last night you were watching the Billboard Awards and you had to go make a pishadul, okay? You had to go to the back house and make a picador. And you paused the live broadcast. The moment you do that, you fall into the second bucket. Okay? The second bucket is time-shifted viewing. Even though you hit the pause button, and that pause button is, you go make a picador, you come back 45 seconds to a minute later, you are now time delayed. All right? And that's the second bucket. Then the third bucket would be +7, which means that you ended up watching it within 7 days of its original broadcast. And that's the third bucket. So there's 3 different buckets. Each bucket has a different value to the cable company. Live being the highest value.
Because you're probably fast-forwarding through commercials if you record it.
I'm sorry, say again?
Because you're probably fast-forwarding through commercials if you record it?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Now, again, these numbers are only generated by Nielsen homes. And I don't know if we touched on this the last time we spoke. But, like Coco, unless you're in a selected Nielsen home, no one's looking at your DVR.
Yeah, that's the biggest bullshit thing now anyways, with all the digital stuff. So unless you have a Nielsen box, I don't know how they're getting these numbers. They pick a couple people to give a Nielsen box, and then they just extrapolate from those numbers. So they have no idea who's watching anything.
Now, who gets a Nielsen box, and who judges who gets one?
They do, I think.
Well, I would say right about now, and boy, if there were any other broadcasters or folks listening, they can certainly correct anything I'm saying. But I think the last I noticed, it's about 20,000 homes right now in the United States are official Nielsen homes. So those 20,000 households, those people are basically dictating what the rest of the world is watching, the rest of the United States, what the rest of the United States is watching. I think there's over 100 million homes with cable currently right now, and 20,000 of those homes are Nielsen homes. You're selected by your location, you're selected by your income, you're selected by how many people are in the household, you are selected by, those 3 things primarily: where you live, what your income is, and how many people are in the household. I'm sure that there are more factors than that, but for this discussion, I'm trying to keep it simple. Then what they do is they measure the viewing habits of those 20,000 households, and they yield a result. They say, through their matrix, through the way that they do their math, they can extrapolate, as you've said, the information and say this many people watched the Billboard Music Awards last night.
Now, how old is that system? Because it would be like if, let's say, over the weekend Joey had 300 people at one show. It'd be like getting comment cards from 5 people, and maybe you just gave those cards to the 5 people who didn't want to be there anyways. Like, it seems like with all the internet stuff now that we could probably actually know who's watching what, and then we wouldn't have 2.5 Men on for 10 years because just a couple random people who got the Nielsen box liked it.
Yeah, that's the argument that has existed from day one. Even before the digital age, there were many, many, many people inside and outside of the industry that felt that the numbers simply didn't hold up, that the numbers don't add up, that the sample was simply too small. Like you said, it's like handing out 5 Q&A cards to a room of 300 people. It's almost like taking a baseball player's one single time at bat and making that single time at bat his average for the season. Yeah,
I don't get the system, and I feel bad for people who do TV shows now because they could do a great TV show and just maybe they don't give people who are horror fans Nielsen boxes, so the horror show goes off the air now. It's just
yes, I mean it's and for many, many decades this system has worked, but on the other hand, you can also say, well, it was also the only system in town.
Yeah.
It was the only game in town. Now, here in the digital age, advertisers, and by the way, now there's also C3. C3 is the rating that is given to commercials. Commercials are rated now. I remember back in the day when DVRs were just coming on board, and advertisers were livid. They're like, "Hey, look, if it's being DVR'd, people are not watching the commercials." So what Nielsen did was Nielsen turned around and developed a matrix that simply measures the commercials to tell the advertisers, "Hold your horses, calm down. Here are the numbers. People are actually watching your commercials." Okay, so that's even another bucket, but I don't want to get
confuse these motherfuckers.
I don't want to get too complicated in the discussion, but what's going on right now in the digital era is that advertisers are screaming for a new matrix, for a new unit of measure, a central one coming from Nielsen. However, most advertisers are using their own matrices now anyway. So I'm not quite sure how a single uniform unit of a way of measuring the digital audience. I don't see that much happening because most advertisers just use their own matrices at this point now anyway. So it's a little bit so it's much tougher. When you see a show get canceled, and this is the old programmer in me talking now. But a show gets canceled because people don't watch it. I mean, that's it at the end of the day. I know that audiences would like to think that programmers shove things down your throat, but not today. We're reactionary programmers. We react to what people respond to. Okay? And if people go to a show, Coco, you know this. You're on stage. If people go to a show and they don't like the show they see, they don't come back.
You're right.
Right? And the same is true of television.
But how does a show with Robin Williams not work at a perfect time slot? This guy's been on TV for 40 fucking years. I mean, we grew up on Robin Williams. Is it because it's too competitive, or the shows just aren't any good anymore? Or
well, he probably didn't come cheap. Okay?
Right.
I think we can all make that assumption.
That's what else I was thinking about.
Cheap. Okay? So that show has to bring in a certain amount of revenue for it to be a success, which means that it has to hit a certain number. And if it doesn't, and if it doesn't hit that number, if people don't watch it, then the network has to make a decision. Hey, look, Robin Williams is costing us X amount of dollars. The show is not yielding the ratings that we've promised to advertisers, so we got to let the show go. And that's what happens. Nothing lasts forever in television, I think, except maybe 60 Minutes and The Simpsons. That's about it.
It's crazy how attached you get to shows too, like that thing with Community that just happened. Like, and even when like regular shows get canceled, it's sad for a second. Then you realize like, why am I sad that the TV show's ending? But it's weird how attached people get to it.
We all have that show, though. We all have that show.
I'm amazed Community lasted as long as it did.
Oh yeah, me too.
I think that's really, to be honest, I think it's a testament to the people at NBC Universal, because it wasn't really doing all that well. But they stuck with it, and you don't see that too often nowadays. Things get canceled
quickly.
Man, you got three episodes.
Especially when I can put Beverly Hills Housewives on. You know, we could put a reality show, of something, and they get ratings. And even it's too quick. Seinfeld wouldn't have lasted 10 years ago. They wouldn't have given it 2 seasons. Not in 2005, they were cutting you on the 3rd fucking episode. I remember the Tracy Morgan show. You remember the Tracy Morgan show on NBC?
No.
3 episodes. Joe Pantoliano had a show 1 year.
Right.
The beginning of they went through everybody. They went through every combination. What's his name? Lowe. They put
Rob Lowe.
Rob Lowe had a show. His failed. What they do, they put Joe Pants and Rob Lowe together on Friday night. That show failed. They don't keep you around. They don't give you. I'm surprised Blue Bloods has lasted on CBS with Tom Selleck as long as with Moynihan. You look at these shows and you a guy like me, I'm interested. Why has that lasted, and why hasn't this lasted? I came from a society where we didn't watch TV on the front. Well, we did growing up. We watched Sanford and Son at 8. And Chico and the Man at 8:30, And then you went out, and then you had Miami fucking Vice at 9 o'clock. So you had to tell the dealer not to come over till 10:15 because Miami Vice ended at 10 and you couldn't wait to fucking do a line of blow. You know, there was all these...
The pie wasn't cut up as much back then.
Yeah, no. You had, 60 channels.
I mean, it's so crowded today. It is so crowded today, man. I mean, to make a hit. And Friday nights, by the way, there's a term called hot levels. Okay? Hot levels are houses using television. Okay? And Friday night has the lowest hot levels of the week. Your worst nights for television viewership, where there are fewer people sitting in front of the TV, are Friday nights and Saturday nights. Okay? So, what do you two think would be the best nights?
Mondays, maybe Tuesdays. Well, actually, isn't Thursday the best night? Isn't Thursday usually
Sunday and Monday?
Oh, okay.
Sundays and Mondays are the highest hot levels. You have the majority of folks homes using television. Sunday night and Monday night. And what always runs on Sunday nights?
Football.
Award shows. From the Oscars to the Billboard Awards to the American Music Awards. You normally see your award shows on Sunday nights because of the high hot levels. And you also see a lot of your big mini-series events. When History Channel did the Bible, and all of these big, the Rosemary's Baby coming from NBC. It's a Sunday night and a Monday night because they're hedging their bets because more people will be in front of their televisions on those nights. So to your friend who's getting a show on ABC on a Friday night at 10 o'clock, she's got a bit of an uphill battle.
Right. No. I know that. That's why. And I love her to death, and I want to support her on the show. She's, I can't believe it happened. And they give all these stars these shows, and this girl found the writer. For you to get your show on the air, so many stars have to align.
Yes.
So many stars have to align. You could have the best show, go in front of an audience, the thing sucks, and there you are. So many stars have to align. So I'm very happy for it. Ray, when is your your new webpage launches July 15th, you said?
This is the information I have at the moment. Okay. July 15th, Screenbox is going to really become a much more robust experience, and it will be available on multiple platforms that people are accustomed to a subscriber to a subscription sort of model. There was a wonderful announcement from Xbox, I think about a week ago, a week or two ago. Wonderful announcement from Xbox. They are no longer going to be charging the Xbox Gold membership in order to get to their pay channels. In order to get to the Xbox pay channels, you needed to be a member of Xbox Gold. And they're removing that wall now. They're removing that wall so that you don't have to be an Xbox Gold member in order to gain access to Netflix and the other pay services that are available on Xbox. So that's wonderful news for me. That's wonderful news. For Screenbox, I should say. And then the other piece of news that was also, I have mixed feelings about it because I have good friends there. But FearNet is no longer going to be around. They're going dark. They're going black. Comcast, FearNet was a horror movie channel, and it was owned by several companies. I think it was Lionsgate and MGM. I'm not sure. I'm blanking. I'm sure the folks out there know better than me. They're yelling at me right now. But FearNet was owned by several companies, and Comcast was one of them. Comcast swooped in, bought out its partners. It now owns FearNet outright, and it's going to eliminate the channel. And the programming that exists on FearNet is going to be divided between Sci-Fi Channel and Chiller. Now, this makes me very happy. It makes me very happy because there's a void now, a void that needs to be filled, a void that Sci-Fi Channel and Chiller can't fill because they're advertiser-based. They're the old business model. Okay, whenever you tune in to Chiller for horror movies, guess what, folks? Here comes the commercial break. Going to bounce you out of the horror, and all of the language and all of the violence and whatever nudity exists is going to be eliminated. Okay? And that's why it's a VOD world. That is why the shift is happening, because the audience is demanding it. Horror fans don't want horror movies whitewashed or saturated.
They don't want any movie whitewashed or
saturated. They don't want it sanitized. Horror fans don't want horror movies sanitized. And that's what you get when you watch horror on TV at the moment. Now, Walking Dead and American Horror Story are two excellent shows. But I can't watch them with the commercial breaks. I wait till Netflix. I wait till later. Because the commercial breaks bounce me out of the horror. It's disruptive. I can't take it.
So when does your page kick off? July 15th?
July 15th, yeah. Yeah, July 15th. We're very, very, very excited. And this was really the original design for Screenbox from my understanding when I was asked to join the team. My understanding was that the original launch for Screenbox was supposed to be on Xbox. And that was always the goal. That was always the intent. And for reasons I'm not clear about, it launched on YouTube instead. But the Xbox launch is now coming. So this is really where we wanted to be. And we're very much prepared for it, and we're very excited about it. I'm thrilled, personally. I'm thrilled because I'm able to give horror fans content the way it's supposed to be watched, not through someone else's filter. I don't want to watch a horror film through someone else's filter. I want to see the film the filmmaker made.
Ray, you're like the Fidel Castro of fucking horror films. You used to drag me down to Jersey City 40 years ago to watch all that craziness. Ray, we're gonna have you back on. We're gonna have you back on July 14th to promote this, if you don't mind. Ray, I love you. You're fucking knowledgeable as fuck. The people are happy today. It was great seeing you and your brother together at the Stress Factory. It really hit home to see all of us together.
Fantastic. Folks, if you haven't gone out to see Joey Diaz yet live, man, damn, you're missing out. You might as well be living in a cave. What a show.
Let me tell you something.
My ribs hurt, dude. My ribs hurt from laughing so goddamn hard.
When we talked about the fucking kid with the pointy ears growing up, Vinny Warhead, the kid that fucking used to light the fires, he was a volunteer fireman. He used to light the fires and he'd get there first.
Yeah, folks, let me tell you, when you go see Joey on stage and he's telling you about his friends growing up, he's not kidding. Okay?
We weren't fucking around.
Up. I gasped in the audience because I'm hearing names of people I know and situations, and I gasped because I'm like, oh shit, I know this person. Folks, when you go see Joey, you're seeing the real deal. The real deal. I can guarantee that.
I love you, Uncle Ray. I'll give you a call during the week. Give your brother a kiss for me, and thank you as always. I love you, buddy. Thank you for being my friend for 45 fucking years.
My brother always asks for you. He misses you, and we love you very, very, very much.
I love you
We're
guys
all
too.
Really, really proud of you, dude.
And I'm proud of you guys that you're still in my corner, man. Stay blackish, and we'll be in touch, cocksucker.
I shall. I'm black and proud. I say it loud. Ow! Hit me.
Hit me. Stay black. I love you, cocksucker. Lee.
I love you too. Stay well.
All right, brother. He's fucking great. He really is fucking great. I learn something every time I talk to that fucking lunatic.
That vapor hit me a little bit.
It's supposed to fucking hit you, Lee. What do you think this is? Where's Tony Bennett? That's what I'm talking about. We're forgetting about everybody.
I'm 8 steps ahead of you. What's the question?
We love you, people. A little something for your Monday morning. We're always around. When somebody breaks your heart. Are you fucking kidding me? We're always there. We're all together. Fuck these motherfuckers. We own this place. It's over. No more fucking around. I'm stoned too. What do you think I feel? I'm thinking about that fucking one egg and that piece of wheat toast.
Oh yeah. I hope Tony Bennett has like a web guy who will eventually go to this YouTube page for this
song. What are you turning it
song.
off for?
I'm sorry.
Just talk over it for a second.
Oh. And he goes and he looks at all the comments and he's like, he figures it out.
Diaz and Lisa,
You know, what the fuck are they talking about? Church, grab your balls.
I mean,
Mr. Bennett,
I
come
wanna
on.
be around. Are you fucking kidding me? Let's see if the puzzle fits. What's the story, Lisa? Let's blast these motherfuckers with some on it. Always on it. I was just in Austin. I talked to Artie, but we didn't connect, and I feel really bad. But it doesn't matter. When I got back, I did my on it 120, and I'm fucking back. I took a little 3-hour nap, and as usual, Shroom Tech, strong bone, the digestive enzymes. Listen, if you're not fucking around with on it, at least giving it a try, you're slipping. I'm telling you this as sincerely as can be. You know, if you got to open up a little Alpha Brain just to see how it makes you feel, go with Alpha Brain. It's got a money-back guarantee. They've got the kettlebells. They've got the fucking kettlebells with the devil faces on them. They got the ropes. Listen, I'm talking about supplements here. Give it a shot. You got nothing to lose. You know, Columbus, take a fucking chance. It's Monday. Go to onit.com. Go to the box and press.
Church.
Go to joeydiaz.net. Look at the tour dates. Look at the T-shirts. While you're there, go to the Onnit box. Go look at Onnit. See what they got to offer. Put what in the fucking box?
You put church in the box.
CHURCH. Get you 10% off. You get on the mailing list. If you want to join up for the stay on it, they'll mail it to you at the first of the month. It's a great deal, okay? Hulu Plus, as usual. This is what Ray was talking about this morning. Websites like Hulu Plus. HuluPlus.com. They're fucking tremendous, okay? We don't fuck around. I read you the shows the other day. I tell you what they got on. You can watch them at any time. Movies, kids shows, documentaries, whatever the fuck you need, Hulu Plus has it. Why fuck around with all this other shit and pay too much? I'm asking you for $7.99 a month, but I'm giving you 2 weeks for free. $7.99 a month, but we're going to give you 2 weeks to get your fucking money's worth, see what it's got to offer you, see the order they come in, how it works, boom, 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 bam! And then after that, it's $7.99. Go to joeydiaz.net, go to Hulu Plus box and press.
Press Joey.
That, like a motherfucker that you are, Joey. Start with Hulu Plus today. They've got Shark Tank. They've got just so many fucking shows. It's just too many. It's a great thing all rolled up into one. My wife lives on it. She watches it on a Roku. You can watch it on multiple devices, iPhone, iPad. Knock yourself the fuck out. You can even watch it off of, if you look at the moon at night, they got Hulu Plus on the fucking moon on the side. You follow me? They'll have something on.
Only Jews get to see that.
Only Jews get to see that. Go to HuluPlus.com. Go to joeydiaz.net. Go to the Hulu Plus box and press in.
Joey.
Boom! There you go. Watch your favorite shows, all different devices. $7.99 a month. You can't beat that. Number 3, Dollar Shave Club. Come on.
That's it.
You know what? I'm sick of telling you motherfuckers. For $1, $6, and $9 a month, I don't have to sell this. I'm telling you this as your fucking uncle. Cut this shit. It's $1, $6, and $9. You get brand new razors delivered to your house monthly. They send you an email so you can sit out there and watch for the fucking mailman to come. Boom, he'll put it right in your hand. You get your 4 fucking razors, 1 blade, single blade. The other package comes with an aloe strip on it. You can't lose. $9, $6, $1 a month. Either of those packages will work for you. They also got the One Wipe Charlies. They also got the fucking shave butter. You're not going to lose with this shit. I'm telling you right now. Try the $6 package. Okay, just try them. Let me know what the fuck you think. You're not going to be sorry. Go to joeydiaz.net. Go to the Dollar Shave Club box and press in. Church. CUCHURCH. Also, to my buddies at escapepodtank.com, all I hear are great things from them. Great things from people that do business with them. Go to escapepodtank.com. Get the just off the rank model. What's the name of it? The just the tank model. You get $150 off. Let me tell you something about these guys. I got an 800 number there. You got any problems, any questions with flotation tanks, Jeremy is always there to answer whatever fucking question you got. That's how solid he is. This is a customer service based company. If you don't want, they got industrial tanks, they got residential tanks, they got commercial tanks. They'll send them to your fucking house. You call the plumber, let him install it, or they'll fly out and install it for you. Mention joeydiaz.net. get a $1.50 off. Where you going to get that type of action? Call Jeremy today on the 809 line, escapepodtank.com. And I also want to give love to everybody who gives us fucking love. From my girl, Lori Ortega, Sergio's wife, to Shannon Fox, I love you for having this your husband's fucking corner. To Sam Graziano, to my beautiful fucking Ookie Spooky for coming down, Constance, Andrew, and Yaznid for the beautiful fucking card. And the thing, I don't know if I pronounced her name correctly. Please tweet me and tell me the name and I'll pronounce it again. You're a beautiful couple and you're beautiful people. A lot of you people that came to Austin, I fucking love you, man. Dead Squad Nation, stand up, take your dick out. Tell them all to fucking sniff that helmet. Joshua Michalski, Joshua Michalski, I fucking love you. And Vach Panos, I'll see you soon, cocksucker. But I think I'm going to talk to Lee. And we're going to start a new podcast once a week called The Church Advice. And we're going to give you a number, and you're going to call with your problem or whatever you have on your mind. You don't have to give your name. You don't have to give your number. Nothing like that. We're not going to take your number. We're not going to call you back. We don't give a fuck. I know a lot of people have questions that are deep, and maybe you want to talk them out with myself and Lee. So we're going to get a number today, and we'll let you know when that's going to start up. Because I get fucking great emails. And listen, man, the emails and what we talk about on the show go hand in hand. But I just want to dedicate a show, I think, once or twice a month to fucking people from the church that have a fucking question about their life, man. And maybe me or Lee or we'll get somebody else. And this isn't to laugh at you or to goof on you. You know, I got a great one yesterday about some kid said, I got two great ones yesterday about a kid who called, who hit me up and said he's a salesman. You know, he's getting into cars and he's learning a lot and it's hard. And he said, you know, Joey, I always hear you talk about it. What's the best advice you give me? And I told him, you know, follow up and send cards, send thank you cards. Don't hang out with the fuckheads in the circle and do what they don't do. Do opposite of what they do. You know, be your own person as a salesman. But the most important thing is to keep your shoes shined. Because when you shine your shoes, you're ready for the day. You're letting your mind know that you're ready for the fucking day. You ain't fucking around. We don't shine our shoes enough, and I'm guilty of that shit. When I go out and I see a salesman, I look at his shoes, and I get fucking depressed. And you guys are looking at me and going, Joey, what are you talking about? Let me tell you something. It all starts with shining your fucking shoes in the morning. You shine your own fucking... Anybody could take it to some fucking Puerto Rican or some white dude or some black dude at a train station. Anybody could do that. I'm talking about you yourself as a human being, putting your thing on, putting that fucking black gunk on or brown gunk and shining your shoes. It does something to your attitude. Listen, man, Lee will tell you, I fucking hate everything, all right? I have a great time with Lee. But every morning I talk about the word love, because if you fucking say it, you'll believe it throughout the day. You know, every day I tell somebody I love them, and I see them looking at me like, wow. Because they hear it and they go, why would he say that? You know, maybe somebody, whatever. It all starts with the little fucking things, you know? And I believe that. I had a manager, Wayne Means, and he used to say that when you shine your own shoes, you believe in yourself. It's a weird way of believing in yourself. And these are just little anecdotes I've picked up and I paid attention to, and I see what they're talking. Wayne Means was a biker half the year, and the other half the year he was a fucking car salesman. But when you worked with Wayne Means, your income went up. Everybody's income went up $2,000-$3,000 a month, because he attacked different things that we didn't attack in normal. He was a biker, guys. He was a fucking biker with long hair and a beard and a Harley and an old lady and tattoos. But 6 months of a year, he fucking shaved his head. He shaved his head, trimmed his beard. He took off his glasses because he goes, I want them to see my beautiful blue eyes. This guy was an amazing man. When I went to prison, he was fucking amazing, Wayne Means. I mean, when the cops went looking for me, he gave me a wrong address. He used to call me brother. He used to call me the renegade. And he used to tell, you know, he believed in me. And sometimes when somebody has a weird belief in you, he was a car salesman. This guy had no reason. He was a fucking nomad 6 months of the year. But 6 months of the year, to keep his sanity, he would just fucking change himself completely. And he would become corporate. It was the most amazing thing. And he'd come over to me and go, this is what and I'd wait for him. I worked for him for 3 years. I worked from the Suzuki store for a while. I couldn't sell Suzukis. They kept tipping over. But then fuck those Suzukis. They kept tipping over. You remember those things, Lee?
The little bikes?
Yeah, no, the fucking Jeeps. That's how old I am.
Oh, the cars?
Yeah, they had these Suzukis.
Like their motorcycles.
They kept tipping over and shit. And then he went to the Subaru store, and I learned more in those 6 months about sales. But I don't stop laughing, Lee. Let me get a water, Lee. I got cotton mouth from from the hemorrhoid medication. It's very amazing, and that's one thing he used to say, brother. You gotta shine your shoes, brother. You gotta look sharp. You gotta feel like $1 million fucking bucks to make $1 million bucks. So if you take anything from today's show, shine your here comes fucking Donald Trump and the construction crew again. It's fucking kapoots to the podcast. If it ain't one thing, it's the fucking other. Powder your nuts today, people. It's gonna be a hot one. We love you. Listen, let me give you some dates. I'm gonna be at the Ice House May 28th, next Wednesday. We got a great guest. That next Thursday night, me and Lee are going to San Diego. We're going to be at Harrah's at 9 o'clock, eating steak, selling T-shirts, fucking around, patches, the whole thing. June 6th and 7th, I'm at Wise Guys with the great Duncan Trussell. One of the best co-headlining shows you'll see this year. WiseGuys.com. Go get the tickets.
This is a goofy podcast.
Shut the fuck up, cocksucker. It's always a goofy podcast. And Governor's Long Island, 3 days in June. Get your tickets. JoeyDiaz.net for your fucking gi patches, T-shirts, and your cups. But seriously, I want to let you people know we're going to start. It's going to call Church Advice. And we're going to just start out gently and see how you guys like it. If you don't like it, we'll get rid of it. I just think it's a good idea for people who want to send me an email, but not really. Because I get great emails. I got another one about marriage yesterday also that brought a tear to my eye. The guy was getting divorced and he couldn't believe it that he didn't do the little things. And like I tell Lee, anybody could give you a woman flowers. Anybody could buy you a diamond. You know, it's the little things in a relationship that I didn't know when I was with Kathy. You know, I talk about Mercy and my other daughter, Jackie. I was two different people. I had two different expectations of life. And sometimes you got to taste shit before your life tastes better. Sometimes you got to taste shit, man, before it gets better. You know, and with marriage and shit like that, as relationships with Lee, there's a give and a take, you know?
Yeah.
Lee has to know I got his back fully. And I have to know Lee's got my back fully. And he does, and I have his back. And that's in a friendship relationship, but it also works in a home relationship with your wife. Man, I'm not the easiest guy to live with, and I know that. But I love my wife, and I give her the respect that I can, and I'm home at nights, and I like other women. I like looking at pussy and tits, don't get me wrong. That's what part of being a man is. But my dedication to my wife is, and sometimes we forget that early on when we're young. It's not just going home, fucking them, and eating dinner with them. You got to do little things. Listen, on Sundays, I love to go to the open roll at GMAC, at VMAC, at my jiu-jitsu school. It's fucking tremendous. People come from other schools and teach you things, but it's family day. I get jiu-jitsu 6 fucking days a week. So I'm going to be covering shit like that on this. If you're interested, twit me. You know, this is something for you. You know, give us a response. You know, twit Lee. Tell Lee it's a great idea. I'll give you a date. We're going to get a new 800 number so you could call from wherever the fuck you got to call. And we're going to give it a shot. The Church Advice. We'll have a T-shirt made, a patch. Maybe we'll send you a sticker to say that you called in. You know, whatever the fuck. You can put it in your window, put up your ass. I don't give a fuck. It's Monday, May 19th. Go out there, fucking swing from the fucking fences and let them know who fucking sent you. You're a bad motherfucker. Don't let them tell you otherwise. I want to give a shout out to Ray Cannella and all my sponsors on it. Dollar Shave Club, Hulu Plus, EscapePodTank.com, Nailed It Life, and Nature'sBox.com and my biggest sponsors. You bad motherfuckers for loving us. Have a great day. Stay black and do your thing. Don't let nobody fuck with you.
Now that the show's over, don't forget to sign up for your free trial of Hulu Plus. Hulu Plus lets you binge on thousands of hit shows anytime, anywhere on your TV, PC, smartphone, or tablet. Support this podcast and get an extended free trial of Hulu Plus when you go to huluplus.com/Joey or go to joeydiaz.net and click on the Hulu Plus banner. And don't forget to sign up for dollarshaveclub.com. Get high-quality razors sent to your door every month for a fraction of what you pay at retail. Now go to dollarshaveclub.com/church or just go to joeydiaz.net and click on the Dollar Shave Club banner. And thank you to EscapePodTank.com. Get your sensor deprivation tank. They have a couple different models. They'll set it up for you. Mention Joey Diaz, and you're going to save an additional $250.
Just looking back at the world from another level, you know? Multiple gunshots to the block of